Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew guy, and this is not a nasal snuff review because I am not happy with the product, the way it has come to me, the way it is looking like in the can. In fact, I'm wondering if the lids have not been switched. So, the product was supposed to be Viking blonde. However, the can itself came mildly dent. The gasket that is on the inside was dried out and basically had breached. And the product itself doesn't look the way it's supposed to. So, this was a natural nasal snuff that was very bright Virginia forward, thus light in color, blonde. Now, this light actually makes it look lighter than it actually is, but that is too brown for a blonde. There's one of two things that have happened here. Because the gasket, which is a very thin, you can hardly see it because it's coated in product, because that was no good and breached, the product was open to air. Now, there's not a huge market for nasal snuff, and although I'm dealing with the biggest online retailer of it, this could have been sitting in storage for quite some time. There's no way to tell with a lot of this stuff because there are no dates given. Because technically, as long as it's not open to air, the product doesn't really go bad. But if it is open to air, a couple things happen. This was supposed to have medium moisture, this product. It is seeming to me a lot drier. Now, if it was open to air because of a bad gasket and a dented can, it's dried out. And that is why, even though I have not really used any of it, there is that much missing in the can. It's not that there's anything really missing, it's that the product has contracted with the loss of moisture. So yeah, it looks like, this side over here is way down. I'm being careful with it because it is now dusty to a point that I'm afraid of even breathing on it. And I mean that quite literally. The other thing with it is that it is darker, considerably darker. Now, the only other thing I could think of that could have happened was that for whatever reason, and I'm going to give the online realtor the benefit of the doubt here, retailer, sorry, not a realtor. The only other thing I can think that maybe happened here, and the smell leads me to believe this is a possibility. The look of the product in the can, the way it's sunk, is what leads me to believe that it's just been open to air. But the smell and the color, I hate to think it because the retailer has a good reputation, and I don't think they wouldn't purposely do this anyway, and I don't see how they could accidentally do it. So I don't really want to put this forth, but it is a possibility just from the look and smell of the product. There is a Viking brown, okay, and for some reason, somehow, technically, they all come in the same containers. The lids could have been switched. How that would happen by accident, I don't know. But as I've said, the online retailer, which is MrSnuff.com, which I have no affiliation with whatsoever, but is basically the only game in town for this stuff, and I have never had a problem with before. That could be a possibility. I'm thinking and hoping that the product was just open to air. okay, and not that a lid somehow got switched out. But it is very reminiscent smell wise and look to the Viking brown. Okay, so this is not a review of this stuff because it wouldn't be fair, number one, to the product. Okay, and it really wouldn't be fair to anybody watching because it would be a very skewed, very off base. Even if I reviewed this and even if somebody was enticed by what I said about it, if they went and bought it themselves, they would have a different product on their hands. Okay? So, following line with my last review, I thought we'd get all the outright fails out of the way in one shot tonight. So, this has not been a review of Viking Blonde. This is just me keeping it in the pre-listed order, and we'll go on to the next one. At some point, I will maybe buy this product. It's sort of irritating because this is the only one that exceeded $5 because 25 grams is the smallest size this comes in. But, it is what it is. Now, the next few days before Christmas Eve, I will be finishing the Natural Fine Cut series. I will be mixing in a good number of dry snuff reviews with that. And again, after Christmas Day. Okay, I will be taking off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. After that, I'll be doing a short series on peach dip and mixing in a good number of dry snuffs just to fill out until my next orders go in. Okay. As for this stuff, maybe sometime down the road, I don't know. I don't know if I want it. Number one, it's an awful lot. 25 grams of nasal snuff is a lot of nasal snuff. That's like, and for as much as I do it, we're talking years worth. But, I had heard such good things about it. And it was going to be my big go in the first group of a natural, and now it's sort of shot. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. So I will scratch that off the list. I believe it is the number 5 slot. We're 4, and we will go on to whatever the next one is. And I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow or the next day because I have bad weather coming in. I hope everybody is well. I thank you for the new subscribers, guys. If your subscriptions aren't public, I don't get a notification. So if you have your subscriptions marked as private, I don't know you're there unless you pop up in a comment thread or whatnot. Otherwise, guys that I do get notification for, I always say hello to. The last one I had was, and I already shouted you out, but I'll do it again, Landon Edwards. Again, thank you. All right. So I will be back tomorrow. We will be doing, and I'm actually happy about this, Longhorn. And Longhorn Fine Cut Natural. Yeah, it's bad when I'm getting excited about that. And then I'll just keep moving these things along. All right. Filling in the gaps until my new orders go out on the 2nd or 3rd, which is about a week and a half out, I believe, but I'd have to check. Anyway, do hope you're all well. And as always, God bless.